I'll craft a compelling, dramatic story in American English based on the Pro-VY Dead outline, keeping the plot, setting, and themes intact while changing character names to create a fresh narrative. The story will be engaging, conversational, and suspenseful, designed to captivate readers and spark debate, all within approximately 6,000 characters, around 1,000 to 1,200 words. I'll ensure perfect grammar, spelling, and natural pacing with dramatic flair to maintain tension and intrigue. Character names like Karen Duvall, Everett Morton, Clive, Beverly, and others will be replaced with new ones, and the YouTube channel name will be omitted. The story will end with provocative questions to encourage audience interaction, comments, likes, subscriptions, without explicitly mentioning the platform. The tone will feel like a thrilling, real-life tale told by a friend, with emphasis on conflict and resolution to fuel controversy. It all started with a trash can. Not a fancy one, just my beat-up bin, rolled out to the curb a few hours early. I'm the sheriff of Willow County, but that morning I was just Tom Harper, homeowner, sipping coffee and flannel, thinking about nothing but the satisfying thud of my bin hitting the pavement. Little did I know, that dented can would unravel a conspiracy so wild it'd make your head spin a tale of fake badges, rogue enforcers, and a neighborhood held hostage by a clipboard-wielding tyrant named Linda Grayson. Linda, the self-proclaimed standards director of the Pine Crest HOA, strutted up with her yappy terrier. Liberty ironic, right? Her eyes locked on my bin like I'd committed grand theft. Muttering into a walkie-talkie, she scribbled a due lot 75 fine on a pad, handed it to me, and sashayed off like she owned the cul-de-sac. I blinked, half asleep, and muttered, "What in the world?" The citation was a joke Comic Sans, misspelled infraction as infraction. No official seal. But 15 minutes later, Linda was back with two goons in neon vests, Greg and Maureen, demanding payment and muttering about HOA Code 492, which, spoiler alert, doesn't exist. I flashed my sheriff's badge, told them I'd chat with the board, but Linda squinted at it like it was a dollar store prop and snapped, "We have jurisdiction here." Jurisdiction? In Pinecrest? This wasn't a neighborhood. It was her personal fiefdom. Things got weirder. Linda waved a binder of handwritten rules, porch chairs too beige, flags too bold, my truck's tires too rugged. Greg, sporting mirrored shades like a wannabe action star, and Maureen, clutching a fake badge from Costume Shop, nodded like backup singers in Linda's Power Trip anthem. When she threatened to detain me at the community center, I set my coffee down, went full sheriff, and said, "Linda, touch me, and you'll explain it to a judge." Her face cycled through shock, denial, and fury in seconds. She hissed that I saw was impersonating an officer-rich coming from her. I demanded credentials. She pulled out a binder labeled Pine Crest Command Manual, full of clip art and cursive forms. Neighbors peeked from windows, one kid filming, as I realized this wasn't about trash. It was about control. I radioed my deputies, citing code 47 impersonation and fraud. Linda's smirk faded when she heard sirens. I didn't arrest her or not yet, but I snapped photos of her fake documents and warned her to produce real HOA credentials or face charges. That night, a manila envelope appeared in my mailbox, unmarked, stamped, "Final Warning" in red. Inside, a report from Linda, now acting commander, claiming I'd threatened her and acted disorderly, complete with a blurry photo of me in my driveway, snapped from a bush. This wasn't just petty, it was stalking. My deputy, Sarah, confirmed no such report existed in county records, but dropped a bomb. I wasn't the only VY Tim. Dozens of Pinecrest residents had gotten fake fines for unapproved grills, loud doorbells, even gnome overpopulation. An elderly vet, Mr. Coleman, was locked in a closet for 2 hours over a noise violation. That crossed the line. I stormed the HOA's community center, a glorified garage, and found a corkboard labeled Compliance HQ, plastered with resident photos ranked by threat level. A locked closet doubled as a detainment area. I bagged files, took photos, and turned it into a criminal investigation. Then came an anonymous call, voice trembling. They're hiding something in the clubhouse basement. At 2 a.m., I cut the padlock, crept downstairs, and found a war room filing cabinets labeled non-compliance dossiers, photos of residents with notes like likely to sue, and contract from a firm called Vanguard Security, signed by Linda and a mystery man, Victor Langley. They weren't just bullying, they were trained to intimidate, bankrolled by Langley, Pinecrest's shadowy founder. Worse, I found invoices approved by my own deputy, Jake relay a betrayal that stung. I went undercover at an HOA enforcement orientation, posing as Ray, a new resident. Linda handed me a probationary enforcer, name tag, and preached about peace through presence. The room clapped as we role-played arrests for early trash bins. A spreadsheet ranked residents by compliance, chillingly clinical. I photographed it all, called the county attorney, and planned a sting. At the HOA standards fair, my deputy, Lisa, posed as a mom parking a stroller illegally. Linda pounced, seized the stroller, and declared Lisa detained. Sirens wailed, and I arrested Linda for impersonation, fraud, and unlawful detention. Greg fled, Maureen fainted. The crowd filmed as Linda screamed about sovereign jurisdiction. Poetic justice? Her own clipboard tripped her as she resisted cuffs. The fallout was seismic. Langley, traced to a hidden ranch, ran a multi-state racket through Vanguard, training HOAs to act like private militias. He faced racketeering and fraud charges. Jake confessed to taking bribes. Residents sued Mr. Coleman for elder abuse, a single mom for a fine trampoline, an immigrant for re-education harassment. Pinecrest's HOA collapsed, replaced by a resident council. Linda, in jail, went viral after attacking a vending machine, shouting about compliance reclamation. Her sentence, community serve VYC in an orange vest labeled non-enforcement. Langley got 35 years, his empire auctioned off. Pinecrest threw a freedom fest, burning old fines and enshrining my trash can as the bin that broke tyranny. A year later, Pinecrest ballooned purple fences, gnome armies, kids' laughter. Stories poured in nationwide. A widow fined for a memorial flag, a vet's wheelchair confiscated. Pinecrest rebellion sparked a movement, with laws curbing HOA power and neighborhoods ditching bylaws for community. My trash can, dented but defiant, stands in Freedom Park, a reminder that one small act can topple empires. I'm still sheriff, but now, when folks call about loud lawns, I just ask, trash out on time? If yes, they're golden. What's your take? Should HOAs have any enforcement power, or are they just legalized bullying? Ever faced a Linda in your neighborhood? Would you fight back or pay the fine? Drop your story, hit like if you're team trash can, and subscribe for more tales of standing up to nonsense.